I want to look at the send effects in this video. Now, I've programmed up a little part and I've got some automation happening with the XY pad, and you can see it move. And you'll recall in the last video, I put some names on it for the speed and for the modulation, and that's reflected in my DAW. So we see the movement, and I've got some of the parameters here assigned. And in the granular engine, go to the grain page, I put in a custom sample by dragging and dropping it in. Turn it off. And I'm modulating some of this with the XY pad as well. And the sample, I've got the baritone tuned up an octave with a nice short envelope, so we get a kind of staccato sound. And I've got all the global effects off. So we can get to the send effects on any of these pages on the bottom. Let me put both engines on. Let me start with one. So with the grain engine, the way it works is we have a send amount for delay and reverb send effects. And then for the sample engine, we have the same send for delay and reverb send effects. And then we have the delay parameters here and the reverb parameters here. So I can turn delay on and I get the same choice of a variety of different effects references. Let's try the Bucket Brigade device ping pong mode. So here I dial up the amount I want to send. There's my return. We can sync to tempo with that. Less feedback. And now let's put it on the sample engine. And I can dial up the send amount there. And we see it's assigned to C, which is a macro. So that means when I'm on the perform page, I can also use this to modulate the amount that's being sent. Bring the return down a bit. Put them both on. So back to the grain only, we can now dial up some send to reverb. There's a nice plate. We have different algorithms and impulse responses. And that's modulated with the macro D, the fourth one. And let's dial some of this in. And bring this down a bit. And now maybe on the global page, I'm gonna go to this first slot and put a filter. Let's dial in some modulation there that already exists. So that's an idea of how we can use the send effects. Just to summarize, we have the send amount for the grain engine for delay and reverb, send amount for the sample engine for delay and reverb, the delay controls, the reverb controls, and we have a little representation of the XY pad for informational purposes only, telling us what's assigned to what axis. We'll continue with more in the next video.